Thanks again, Jackie. I'd say I'm pretty clean, but Hulker, I don't know, man. I don't know about you.
Excuse me?
I think you're a little bit on the rough side.
Wow, that is not very nice to say. I had a shower this morning. It was great.
There we go. But Wind and Rain certainly need to clean things up here on Inferno. They have been a little bit scrappy after their initial win on Train. They came into Overpass and got absolutely destroyed. Fierce looking much, much better straight out of the gate, and obviously that's what you expect from this roster. That's what we were expecting coming into the start of the series, but it took them a while to get going.
Did take them a while to get going, but I think now we're here on Inferno. They should be able to carry that through, really. They played this in the regular season a fair few times. They looked good on it, whereas Wind and Rain, I mean, even against Fierce in the regular season, they played on Mirage, and Fierce won that 16-9. And yet Fierce chose to go to Inferno as the final map, banning out Mirage. So it definitely feels like Fierce should be favored, and we are ready to get into the final map of the series, Inferno, to decide who's going to the final.
Well, Fierce straight away in towards Banana with quite a few players. No one really putting any pressure in towards second middle, more so mid. They gather up. Artist sits in the bottom of the underpass. He'll be taking their time, waiting to see if there's any pushes from Wind and Rain, any nade usage coming in from the CT side. But Wind and Rain have conceded Banana control already. They're playing very passive on both bomb sites. So Fierce are being allowed to play their own game here. They can go in towards Banana, they can smoke off CT if they want, but mainly the pressure is still in towards mid.
Ooh, nice dink landing from Fry. Swaggy down to 19 health. I like the setup Wind and Rain have on the B site where LNZ is holding back with the flashes, but I doubt it will come into play because Fierce have doubled back over to the A side of the map, and Wind and Rain do not have many aggressive positions on this A site. They're going to take a while to see this push.
Well, they're going to be wrapping along here. Fierce flash up, checking the cubby, checking close by as well. And no one is there. 40 seconds. Fierce starting to make their final push in towards the A bomb site. It's going to be Tadpole who finds the first headshot from the pit. Looking for more, but Brody's gone unchecked. He still stands in the corner, moving in. The rest of the T's over the top of him. As Artist and Astro finding frags. It's still a 3v3 with the bomb planted. A kit on the back. There's three players coming in from the short position. And Artist is in behind them. Swaggy with the headshot. Low HP. He's dealt with by Astro. And Artist's flank doesn't get anything done. It's all under the in-game leader, trying to pull off the 1 versus 2 as he hides in Graveyard, buying himself time, looking for the headshots, and eventually is overrun. The pistol goes in favor of Wind and Rain, and certainly was looking likely it was going to be Fierce's, so a really good recovery from the 3 remaining players.
Yeah, the initial sight hold was just about okay enough to keep them in the round, with Brody looking a little awkward, but he stays somewhat composed. He lands that one shot, brings them into the 3v3, and then from there, you see Wind and Rain mostly just stick together as they rush down the site there, trying to make sure that they can trade if necessary. The final fights against Astro were a bit awkward, as it always seems to be in that Graveyard position, but they land all the shots necessary to pick up the round win. Wind and Rain off to a good start. But we're getting a technical pause ahead of the second round, so they'll have to hold their horses before they can try and keep on extending that lead.
Fierce got off to a slow start on Overpass. They lost a few rounds, and obviously a couple of them were close. Then in the end, as soon as they sort of reset mentally, come in with a pause, they straight away just walk away with the entirety of the map. So Wind and Rain get the good start here in Inferno, but I'd definitely say that overall we're looking at Fierce just being the better side here on this map. We've seen them play a lot during the regular season alongside Mirage. Obviously Mirage isn't in the pool at the minute. They've been, that's been bad night for them. It's not really an option to go towards, but they'll be happy that they've got Inferno here to be able to fall back on as that third map. We know they're a capable team. Wind and Rain off to the good start, though it's important they try and build this momentum as they start on the CT side.
Yeah, and remember back to those team stats. Sure, it was only a couple of maps played for both teams, but they both seem to get more rounds on the T side, which is something we've been discussing all day long. So Fierce will be hoping they can instantly bounce back now that they've got the force buy through, and the buys are somewhat similar. The nades may be lacking for Fierce, but they've got better weaponry across the board with the AK, with the Galils, and it's the MAC-10 that started things off. Fry gets the opening frag through for his team, traded into a 4v4, and that leaves the rifles for Fierce left alive in this position.
Brody sits in towards Catwalk with the UMP in his hands. Tadpole waiting for it to come out through short. Shot goes past. Artist waiting by. Looking for the double boost as they're up on top of Porch. Spink with one kill. Jenko and Astro find the kills between them. And Tadpole from the grave burns away Astro. So it's doable here for LNZ. But how many times have we seen this guy in these scenarios in a 1vx left alone, completely isolated, as he has to come back in through a difficult retake on the A bomb site? They both got Galils. He's got a kit and a smoke. But Fierce showing that this new Galil meta that you can invest in the second round after losing the pistol can be so impactful. And they have a chance to steal this one away. They're looking in the right direction. They've got the backup from the pit if things go sour here. And there it is. The kill from Impulse, taking down LNZ. And it's the follow-up round from the boys over on Fierce. After losing the pistol, the answer back is there.
Yeah, those second round force buys do feel so powerful, so effective in these sorts of rounds. The crossfire was established, but I think Astro's AK seemed to make the difference there. He got 2 kills with that 1 AK they had in their hands. The other Galil players just make sure to chime in with kills across the board. LNZ getting aggressive through the Molotov. Impulse has got a smoke out right now, and he's caught off guard. Nice kill from Swaggy. The AK has been recovered by LNZ, and they will get away with the gun and more damage done. Astro down to 13 health from that nade. Ooh, and the AK is rotating to the A side of the map. Maybe trying to catch Fierce off guard. We'll see what Fierce decide to do, though. Right now, they look like they're grouping up into Banana. LNZ is able to rotate between those sites pretty quickly. It's just a case of how quickly will Fierce give the game away because they're lining up the nades.
Well, Brody waiting on them to come around the corner, smoke down in front of the Fist as they continue to push forward. The Deagle in the back lines, flash up in towards the air. LNZ has got his teammate in towards Ruins, but looks like they wanted to go for a boost. His teammate's gone. Luckily, the AK had the right play to walk away from that. Nade stack working for Artis. He gets the kill off the back of it. Well, at this point, Wind and Rin realize saving everything that they possibly can is the only real option. Fierce will go and get themselves a second. It'll be 2-1 on the board after winning the second round investment.
Yeah, well played by Fierce, even though they did take quite a lot of damage on the initial Banana exchanges. They managed to find the weak point of the defense. Wind and Rain can just carry over some guns, try and see if they can keep up the damage in the next round. Only 1 Fierce player dropped in this one, though, so it won't be a massive reinvestment over on the T side. And they should be able to take a 3-1 lead here. Fierce hoping to get the ball rolling early. Impulse has even gone for the early AWP on the T side of Inferno. Not something you have to pick up, especially when you're against a weak buy like this. But we'll see if he can find success with it.
Boost up. On towards Porch. They've done this a few times where they've put a heavy stack in towards that area of the map, right? There's been a lot of players there. It's caught off this Fierce side a few times, but they've dealt with it well. They go for it again. The Molotov's clearing sandbags, clearing the close angle as well. Ping is back on the bomb site. Resmoke coming in to try and delay further.
Ooh, double nades do a tiny bit of damage. If they were closer, Ping could have been in some trouble there. Fierce again have done a solid job at taking Banana control, and that just limits the information that Wind and Rain have available.
Yeah.
They won't know exactly what's about to hit them, and right now Fierce are about to hit the B site again. Only 1 CT here. Ping gets 1 and the dink on the second. Decent effort from Ping, but because he's got no assistance, puts them in a really poor position.
Impulse fending off the players coming in through Banana. He's got the first kill. Looking for a little bit more as they continue to push on in. He's going to be dropped by Swaggy. Run over the top of 3v3. They're going to start to back away here. Wind and Rain send the players in towards the bottom of Banana. They'll head in towards T-spawn. They have got that open AK to save on over. And The only player with nothing of value is Swaggy, who they've left over towards top banana. See if he can pick off anybody who tries to run away. Force a rebuy, but it's not going to happen. Fry will get rid of him. 3-1 lead here for Fierce. Good start in Inferno after the initial pistol loss.
Would have been nice if one of Tadpole or LNZ maybe gave their pistol over to Swaggy there, who was stuck with the USP. But it's all good. They will be able to carry over those two weapons, which was always the main aim from that position. We are about to head into the gun rounds, though, especially with Wind and Rain having saved over a couple of weapons. They can get good utility on almost all their players. Brody with the AWP also has full nades because that one was saved over for him. And as for Fierce, they don't get to carry over the AWP that they invested in, so that's a massive factor. Unfortunately, though, Swaggy not realizing how many nades were coming his way. Damage done early, kill found for Fierce, and again, this banana control is going their way. It looks like a really solid take from Fierce so far on banana with all these nades.
Ping has been a pretty solid anchor so far, though, so he still has a chance to try and hold on towards this B bomb site. Yeah, he's got the backup from a teammate and a rotation coming in from Brody. They've got a good read of this, but Fierce have gone back. They've made the play to leave one in banana, but the rest of the troops will push in towards A, where there's currently only one player. It's Tadpole, and he's playing up on top of the balcony, so he hasn't got a whole lot of info here. He'll go aggressive in towards apartments to spot that no one's there. But they're starting to walk up, creep up through top middle. And it's not the greatest position for Tadpole here. The bomb site is completely empty. He needs to win this fight, and he's done so. Jenko hits the deck. Another chase is on. They're trying to get rid of Tadpole, and they've got the kill. Now the A bomb site has fallen, and Wind and Rain have 3 remaining players trying to get it done as they rotate back in towards CT. They have to consider their options here. Do they want to go for this or save the rifles into the next? It's going to be difficult to recover this bomb site.
Just solid stuff from Fierce here. At the start of the round, they do a really good job at taking banana, find the free pick even, and then because Wind and Rain are a man down, the lack of information means that they want to take a risk. They don't feel confident just holding both sites with 2 players, knowing they're probably going to be in a 5v2 take against them. So they take a slight risk, rotating over to B, hoping that that's where Fierce end up going. And instead, Fierce double back. They get the trade onto the A site. And it's another round where Fierce don't need all the kills to get the round win. Astro is calling very well against this Wind and Rain team right now. 4-1 lead for Fierce. They are looking better across the board at the start of Inferno. But it's still early into the map. Wind and Rain have the chance to bounce back. They just haven't really been able to play their game so far. Fierce aren't giving them too many opportunities to make plays or to take fights.
Fierce are really just playing so well as a team a bit as well, and these individuals are starting to show up in a big way. Astro with another good headshot. Finishes off Brody early. They keep going for this triple stack in towards Porch. And Fierce haven't really put any early aggression in towards A, so they haven't really found the reward off the back of it. And because they've been losing that player in towards B, you can't really afford to stack 3 players into one position, so you're going to have to try and set up differently every time. This defense has to constantly adapt and adjust itself based on what Fierce are throwing at them. And it's a smoke in towards the long side, and no one's really going to capitalize on it just yet. They send the bomb in towards underpass. It'll group up with a player that's already in second middle, and they'll send one up in through mid. So Fierce, once they take that banana control, they're really solid at sort of then taking the second mid control and the apartments. And then once you've taken those 2 areas of the map, you've got complete control.
Again, Fierce using nades across the map, and oh wow.
Oh no, the timing. It's pulled them off. The CTs have no idea. They're going in towards the B bomb site. The fake is definitely working. The player's still alive in the B side, but they've realized they've been bamboozled, but the bomb plant still hasn't come in. Wind and Rain still stand a chance as they come back through the archway. Astro will get the bomb plant. Players inside of the pit already, and Wind and Rain realize they've been absolutely juked.
These retakes aren't easy either. Don't really see what they're going to be doing here. Nice shot from Impulse. Not able to land the follow-up. He is eventually going to go down. The AWP dropped. Astro also falling. Nice shots coming in from Tadpole, but the bomb is very far ticked as they attempt this retake. They shouldn't have too many chances. Tadpole trying to land the shot, but Ardis comes away with the kills on the Galil.
You said that retake was very difficult. The problem is also, to add more difficulty to it, one of their players couldn't rotate off the B bomb site. Fry was just holding him there on B, making sure he couldn't leave. Eventually, when he tries to get over to help his teammates, Fry takes him down. So, really solid stuff coming in here from Fierce. A good team play across the board, and it's actually quite complex here in Inferno, showing that they've done a lot of work. Oh. Ooh. Swaggy nearly gets caught up by that aggressive peek over the top of the logs. Something we see ZywOo do a lot, and this is something a lot of people just talk about now. They call it the ZywOo play, right? If you get the close spawn, you just run up banana, you try and do it all, but Fry is going to open things up. The headshot on towards Swaggy, holding on as LNZ as they try and come in towards him. Astro gets the kill. The in-game leader finding the frags, and we've got ourselves a two-man advantage already for Fierce.
Again, Wind and Rain think about fighting for Banana, but with only 2 players there with no nades, they clearly cannot stop Fierce from taking that position. And then from there, Fierce just turn it into a B site take. I think Wind and Rain could do with stacking 3 players on Banana in one of these rounds, maybe using their nades a bit more successfully as a team.
Yeah, Wind and Rain's defense has been really one-dimensional, right? It's just been so similar every single time, and Fierce have been able to pull it apart because they know this. They're going up against a really passive defense. They've done the exact same setup every time, and well, Fierce have just walked into it, set up perfectly, and their executes are working. And when you're an in-game leader and your set pieces are working every time, everything you're calling is going to plan, you start to feel really confident in your calls. Your team start to feel confident in their caller, and that's when everything is in harmony, right? So this is really good stuff for Fierce on the final map of this series.
Definitely looking good for Fierce right now. I think if this continues the way it's going, if Wind and Rain don't adapt their defense soon, it just feels like Fierce know exactly what to do once they get banana control. They're always one step ahead of their opponents. Just out-strategizing them right now, out-playing them across the map, not having to rely on the individuals as much in quite a few of these rounds. And the rounds where they have relied on the individuals, we've seen, for example, in that round, Fry just running up banana, able to get the opening kills for the team. Not too much success here for Wind and Rain. Remember, they won the pistol round, and they lost against that second round for Spy, and from there, they haven't won a round since. Double AWP setup for Wind and Rain. Maybe that's what they need. They now have an AWP on banana to try and stop any early aggression.
Impulse scoped in towards top banana. No aggression from Wind and Rain this time. Just a passive setup from Swagoo, who's waiting for them to come around the corner, and he's just been absolutely destroyed by Impulse through the wall. Swaggy spotted, and the kill comes through. Impulse has been really solid throughout every single map. He played really well on Train, even though they took a loss there. And LNZ holds on. Fry gone, looking for a follow-up. LNZ holds the B-bomb site well. He gets the 2 kills, and the bomb is on the floor, but the rotation is going to be slow here from the CT side, and Jenko is on the flank.
Slightly slow there, Fierce, pushing through that smoke, but luckily they get the spam through. And like you said, there is a flank coming in, but Jenko's making noise. They might hear him soon. Oh no, he's in position. Jenko about to pull the trigger, taps off the first, spraying for the second, but he can't find it. Tadpole turns around, and in a 2v2, this is doable, especially with Impulse missing that shot. Tries to take the fight, and now it's all on Ardis.
Impulse walking around the corner, inspecting his weapon. It's going to be the lineup coming in for the Galil. A weak weapon to pull this off, and the defuse just comes through. Fierce throw that one away, and Wind and Rain get it done. The flank from Jenko, it looked like it was enough. He only manages the 1 kill. The trigger discipline was too much there. He waited way too long, and obviously Impulse, who's been so consistent, hit a nutty shot in that round to open things up in towards the B-bomb site, but inspects his weapon going around the corner. So loses that aim fight, and well, second on the board for Wind and Rain.
Yeah, it was the 2 AWPs left at the end there for Fierce. I think you can flash back to earlier in the rounds, though, where they pushed through that smoke, not together, really, just apart from each other, so awkwardly. don't get the trade straight away. They take way too long. They allow LNZ to get 2 kills on the hold. If they'd have traded more quickly there, they could have just taken the site in a 4v3 and had a much greater advantage. So a couple of mistakes made in that round, I think, by Fierce.
Definitely so. I mean, they haven't been flawless throughout the series. I mean, if they were flawless, they would have won already. The Train had a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. Weird aggression. Sometimes overextension. You know, when you get that advantage, giving it away. Stuff we don't really attest to this Fierce roster. 52 seconds left. Fierce starting to gather in towards Banana. 2 players again here, but playing passive on the bottom side. Swaggy on the AWP.
Yeah, and I like the decision to go back to the slow plays from Fierce. They don't need to go pushing through those smokes like they did. Having said that, Wind and Rain have got quite a few nades left. 30 seconds left on the clock. They could be about to counter smoke. That could be a problem.
Yeah, well, the utility coming in towards the side. Swaggy missing the shot, goes back for more. This time, he will connect as he looks for more. A second coming through from Swaggy, the star of this Wind and Rain side. As the bomb plant will come through for Fierce. They've eventually neutralized this problem. It's going to be a 3v3 with Wind and Rain needing this retake to go their way. They can't afford to win one, lose one, and not build any momentum, not string them together. And Astro, the headshot so quick as Pink looks for the kill towards the backlines. The peek not needed from Impulse, nor is it from Artis, but they get it done, and it's Fierce who will pick up the round.
Yeah, Wind and Rain did a decent job at holding their nades, having that smoke down, but LNZ, I think, was a bit too active taking the fights. He can probably wait for the AWP to take the first shot and then for the players to push through the smoke into his hands. But because he goes down so quickly, Swaggy's left in a very difficult position there with the AWP just holding the smoke. He did a decent job at least at getting those 2 kills. But Fierce trade evenly onto the site, and that's always going to be good for the T side, especially if you're taking B on Inferno. And again, Wind and Rain have not been able to take banana control in any of these rounds. It looks like they've just started to give up on that entirely because Fierce have been so solid at taking that away from them. And it makes it much more difficult for Wind and Rain to predict what's going to be coming at them. They don't know right now whether it's going to be a B play or whether Fierce could double back and go to the A site. And you can see that starting to come through with the rotations.
Fierce grouping up in towards A. The front man is Fry, who has the bomb actually. Astro's already through in towards long, putting pressure there, but Tadpole in dark. Molotov is going to come in and force him forward. He'll hear that tick, a second one as well, just to confirm. And the spray from Impulse comes through on the CZ. The kills onto the pistols, making them look easy. And Swaggy and Ping are going to step up with a few, but now it's only Ping. 1v3 with an AK now in his hands. There is no kit, but he does have a flash. We'll see if he can pull this off, or if he decides to go for the safe call. There's money in the bank. He will be able to buy into the next. But he's looking to do damage onto this T economy. It's not exactly well built up now, Fierce. They've lost quite a few players, in particular on Jenko and Impulse, but the rest have got money. Ping is going to back off. 8-2. Fierce already confirming themselves at least that 1-run lead in the second half. And we talked about this earlier on Overpass, right? We said maybe the start of this game looks a little bit more scrappy, but once Fierce take control, they really take control of it. They lose the pistol, they win that follow-up, and since then, it's looked really solid from them.
Yeah, they have looked very, very good here. Inferno definitely feeling like a comfortable map for them right now. We'll see if that continues. 3-man B stack for Wind and Rain. Using one molly there. Astro has taken damage from that. A second molly deployed. They're trying to use some nades on the banana control, but Fierce have been able to take it away once again. Could still see the re-aggression come through from Wind and Rain. They have nades left on a couple of these players. Both Ping and LNZ with the utility. Full sets of nades for the team. And Swaggy in an unexpected position, putting his M4 to use. 2 quick kills on towards the B hold.
Well, Artis, the front man, moving forward. LNZ in first oranges has been dealt with by the AK. Impulse able to find one more as Tadpole and Brody into a 2 versus 3. Fierce crossover towards the site. Nade ready to go in towards barbecue area, but it's not going to be working too well for him. Tadpole cannot quite spot anybody due to the smoke. And not really tagging anybody through it either. Impulse blinded. Good chance here for Brody to find a kill. That's the second in this game so far.
Oh, Brody looking for the angle. Artis is dealt with, and Jenko also follows his teammate to the grave. Wyndham Rain finding both those angles that they needed there on the retake. And they will get the defuse. Fierce, again, getting themselves into a good position, but this time Wyndham Rain come through with the important kills that they needed. As you said, Brody finally having some impact with the AWP. And this position from Swaggy just seemed to catch Fierce out completely. They weren't expecting Wyndham Rain to fight for that banana control. Swaggy was about to be flashed in, but he was just able to use the unexpected nature of that position to get the opening 2 kills. We need to see more of that from Wind and Rain, though. They remain 4 rounds down.
LNZ moving forward. He's going to be playing on the edge of the half wall. Has backup from his teammate, but Swaggy is not gone. It's going to be the peak from LNZ. It's good for one, but Ping stands tall on the B-bomb site, and I think Fierce have just realized how many people are actually on this B-bomb site from the CT side. Surely they can't be more than one. They're going to continue to move forward. Brody looking for info, trying to spot if they're falling back or if anybody's crossing over, in fact. And Jenko is about to cross. If Brody spots him, that would be absolutely horrible. As Jenko running a bit towards middle, takes the fight on the AWP, and Brody is caught off by that.
Ooh, Jenko eventually traded out, though. Tadpole picking up that all-important frag, but now they know there's only one man on B. It's Ping to get the first frag. Glock out for Impulse. He knows he's low, gets the shot through the wall, and it's into the 1v1.
Impulse versus Tadpole. Tadpole coming back in through Banana, has picked himself up an AK. And he has a real chance at winning this. With the kit in his back, that Molotov will delay him. He's looking for an angle. Impulse needs to be careful that he doesn't get caught by the timing. Takes a better position and goes aggressive, finds the kill. Tadpole picked off, and Impulse with a round win for Fierce.
Yeah, peeking behind the Molotov, it can sometimes be difficult to see over those flames. I think Tadpole suffering from that, being so close to the molly. Fierce just about close out the round. We are seeing the adaptation come through from Wind and Rain. It looks like they're sticking with the 3-stack on the B site now, which is allowing them to at least compete in these opening trades. It's been much improved for them in that aspect. But you also wonder at what point do Fierce kind of figure that out and maybe test the waters over on the A side of the map.
Yeah.
Because they have been heavily hitting this B site because it was working so well earlier for them. It's Wind and Rain who take the pause, though.
I think Wind and Rain realize, you know, we've had these situations where we've won rounds, but we haven't been able to put them together, right? And that's the problem. You want to find some sort of consistent system. Even though, you know, it's already not great for them, they can still recover this. It could be a 9-6 half. It certainly could. So they want to try and make sure that they are all on the same page, going into this one with a buy that's less than satisfactory. And, well, the FAMAS for LNZ is certainly enough to get something done. We'll have to see if he can step up on this B-bomb site.
So many mollies being used by Wind and Rain, trying to clear out these positions, but Fry is able to pull the trigger before the smoke blooms. Wind and Rain were hoping that they'd forced Fierce away with all those nades, but they weren't well-timed enough to actually force Fierce off the positions. So Wind and Rain lose that first battle. Brody should be able, but he's not going to get it back. Yenko lands the flick onto the second man, and the A site is open for business.
Certainly is, and Artis looks to shut up shop as they come in towards him. It's the headshot, the second in as well. Artis gets it done. 10-3 on the board for Fierce.
Yeah, this time just winning the fights in apartments. Jenko should not have got that second kill, and he was one of the players who'd been quieter for Fierce. That was only his 5th kill of the game. The rest of the squad had been showing up in terms of frags. His turn, though, and he takes advantage of that. Impulse running up Banana. Leg shot lands. LNZ somehow survives. 2 kills on the MP9. Should not have been able to find them both, but eventually Astro's Molotov gets the trade. So again, Wind and Rain doing a much better job at battling for Banana.
3-on-3. Fierce starting to put themselves in towards top Banana. Swaggy waiting for it. Shot's gonna rattle off, but it doesn't really do too much. Not landing there. Eventually a kill comes in. Swaggy straight on towards Jenko as he backs in towards the archway. Smoke up in front of his face as Artist crosses on by. Astro's taking damage, dropped to 43, and a man advantage here on the CT side.
Oh, Swaggy pushing behind them, pushing through the smoke and landing his second shot. It's all on Astro and he will not be delivering. Swaggy starting to show us some more of that form.
He really did cool down after that initial performance on train, and it's really unrealistic to expect that from any player, right? To keep that level of consistency up. He had an amazing performance on train. The only reason really that they won it. So it's unrealistic to expect the same from him across the last two maps here, but he has been really quiet in comparison, finally stepping up, showing some of that impact that he can deliver, but now it needs to become consistent. It can't be a one and done. They need to get a fifth here on the board. Astro's going to drop Brody. Going forward is LNZ. He's caught off by Fry. He doesn't get a single kill, and Fierce continue to push in towards the top of Banana. It's Ping who swings. He goes and finds himself one, looking for a second, but he's dropped by Artis. It falls on a tadpole at Swaggy as they look to try and get it done.
Yeah, this is not the position Wind and Rain wanted to be in. This time, they aren't able to hold Fierce back on Banana. The nades come in for the first frag, almost got them the second kill as well, and there's Artis winning another battle, basically putting an end to this half. Tadpole's on the wrong side of the map. There is one player close by, but the bomb will be planted momentarily, and Fierce are going to come out to a rather one-sided half. 11-4. Not really what Wind and Rain needed.
Yeah, definitely not what they needed, especially coming into this after being blown out of the water on overpass. Quite literally when they were on overpass as well. But you at home have predicted that Fierce should be the winners of this. I think it would be a little bit mental if you predicted otherwise. Maybe you could have swayed your opinion after the first loss, but they've recovered really well. 11-4 on the board. Fierce looking to try and end this. Pistol is so important here for Wind and Rain if they want to stand a chance on Inferno. They've got themselves plenty of utility across the board on Brody and LNZ.
Oh, slow pistol round coming in for Wind and Rain. Like you said, they've got the nades, so they don't need to just rely on rushing their opponents down. They won the CT pistol, but then lost to the second round force spike. We'll see if Wind and Rain can win this pistol here as well. Would be a much needed one for them. At the very least, a bomb plant could allow them a force spike in the next round, which can be very, very powerful. So I think that's step one for Wind and Rain. Just try and make sure you get onto one of these bomb sites. And with over a minute left on the clock, no real fights coming through, but some nades into the B site. I'm not sure the push will come off the back of it, though, taking a look at the minimap.
Yeah, well, they're going straight in towards Archway. Maybe a split in towards the B-bomb site is definitely the call here, but Impulse has spotted it. He's got the first headshot. That slows them, but Swaggy gets rid of the thorn in their side, pulls it right out as he wants a little bit more, but the bomb has fallen once again. It's Jenko picking him up. Astro finding the follow-up, but Swaggy continuing to keep his team alive, to keep the dream alive here in the pistol. But Jenko, he's the dream destroyer as he finds more. All the players fall in front of him, and it's a pistol pickup from Fierce.
Yeah, great work from Jenko to get both those players. They thought they could rush him down. They thought they could trade him out. But he's able to spam away with that P2000. No bomb plant for Wind and Rain either. So it's a limited buy into this next round. They've gone for the force buy, but there's only the one Galil in hand. Mostly going for pistols, so they can at least pick up some nades. Fierce have also mostly gone for SMGs though. So there is the chance that Wind and Rain can get this going, but Fierce quickly taking away banana control.
Yeah, very quickly indeed. Proactiveness is the name of the game here for Fierce. Something that Wind and Rain did not do at all really on their CT side was go for that aggression in banana. It was almost like they were a little bit fearsome of those aim battles, and when they did go for them, to be fair to them, they tried it a few times, but they did get smashed. They did lose those aim fights. Well, Fierce showing dominance at the minute. They're looking to try and hold on to this attack coming in towards the A-bomb site. Utility on in. It's a good execute, but Impulse is ready for it. He's got himself 2 kills. Swaggy and Pingno running over the rest, but Jenko is really starting to light up that scoreboard. He runs out of ammo on the MP5, and it's a 2v2 with Fry. Coming in from short, he cannot capitalize, cannot pick up the kill. So it's on the Astro, the in-game leader, having to step up again. 1 HP on Brody in the back of the bomb site. But the main problem is Pit. The rifle in the hands of Swaggy, who's been so consistently strong for them. As Astro swings into the open, the FAMAS, the better weapon for the job. He'll start to move in. Doesn't know where Brody's gone, hasn't got eyes on him, so still has to check the side, but Brody swings. There's the 1 HP player gone, and Swaggy connects the headshot. Wind and Rain find themselves the win off the back of the second round force buy.
Yeah, good timing there from Swaggy. They peak at the same time, so he can trade successfully. Maybe didn't need to peak, but if you're going to do it, just make sure you both do at the same time to maximize your chances. That round might keep them in this game. Impulse jumping across mid. He can be very good with this scout peek down mid. I've seen him land some headshots in this position. I don't know if Wind and Rain will be giving him that opportunity though, as they are also taking the second mid control. Impulse clearly aware of that, but the nade is slightly too slow. So no damage exchanged at the start of the round. Wind and Rain having a look at Banana. Just seeing if Fierce are putting up a fight in this position, and looks like they will be trying to hold on to it with that smoke going down.
Fierce Esports, 4 away from taking the series, from booking a spot in the final at the ESL Premiership Winter Finals. It's been a long road. They were flawless throughout the group stages. They get here, they did drop a map straight away, but they've recovered well. Problem is, in this round, it's not looking likely they'll be finding too much success, but as soon as I say that, Impulse lands the tag. Kill comes in from Fry, 2. In fact, off the back of the CZ, his Impulse is still alive, but his teammates are dropping like flies. He needs to hit the shot on the head, and it's not going to happen. Jenko coming back through the smoke with the Eagle. The Hail Mary play comes through. It will not work, and Wind and Rain get a 6th.
Yeah, you definitely see Wind and Rain making sure they get the trades there. Fierce had some slight chances in the round, maybe if some shots landed, but that doesn't end up happening. And so Wind and Rain keep themselves going. Going to need a whole lot more if they want to come back into this one, but this should be an easier round. Mid-aggression for Fierce, only the pistols in play. Tadpole could be having a field day with the MAC-10. Eventually gets traded out, but they know where Astro is, and only 1 kill on the round for Fierce.
Solid stuff from Fierce coming in overall, though, in the series. But this could be the comeback from Wind and Rain. This could be it, Alex. Do you believe?
I'm not believing yet.
I'm not believing yet either.
Not quite.
But I'm starting to see the signs. I'm starting to see the road starting to pave a little bit here for Wind and Rain. They've been into it with the AKs, the SGs, and the Galils on the T side as they want to try and force their way in towards Banana early here. Fierce showing a little bit of aggression, but it's 2 kills coming in immediately. Tadpole and Ellen said 2 headshots collected. Fierce are getting dispatched with on the B-bomb site. Impulse looks to spray through the smoke. Ooh. He gets 1, but Swaggy is starting to awaken.
Swaggy had a grid after getting that kill. Knows he got away with 1 there. Landing the shot straight through the smoke. Speaking of Swaggy, he is top fragging the server right now, which feels like it's an important part for Wind and Rain to find success. Again, it's just a question of can he keep it up? Can the rest of the players begin to join him? Brody has been having a rough series in general. Would be nice to see him contribute a bit more, but Wind and Rain are getting the rounds that they need right now. Quick B play comes through. Another round goes their way. If they can keep winning rounds this quickly, they could be back in this game in no time.
That's the thing, a large lead can quickly slip away from you if you're consistently losing rounds and losing your economy. But these infights were so important. You can see how quick kills getting through as Swaggy just shooting through the smoke as he walks on by. Impulse gets absolutely torn to shreds. It's 12-8 in this one. It's not too much to work with here for Fierce, just the 2 rifles for Jenko and Artis. A few pistols in play as well.
Jenko and Artis were playing on the A site earlier, but they've switched up at least Artis' position for this one. They don't want both rifles on the same side of the map. They'd rather spread them out and have the best possible chance of doing some damage. Wind and Rain using so many nades into this A bomb site. Smoke's going down. Ping trying to lead the charge, but Astro gets a really nice kill through the smoke.
Yeah, Astro able to pick up Ping. Man advantage here over on the CT side. They stay alive inside of the pit. LNZ with an important headshot, but Astro still trying to play in the smokes. It's Impulse, though, that's causing problems. Astro pushes through the smoke and doesn't quite capitalize. Brody spins, the headshot collected, but the CT still stands strong.
B is open. They've made the play here. The push came down banana, and Wind and Rain have made a really smart call to just go straight into this B site. I think they figured out that Fierce had took the gamble on the rotate over. Swaggy wins another battle, but eventually Fry finds the backstab. Wind and Rain have got the B site, though. Bomb goes down, and Fierce currently do not have a kit in their hands, and it is a long rotate between those bomb sites.
Yeah, they've just got to fully commit to this if they want to go for it. They've got to swing in towards Ruins and just take these infights. It's certainly possible. That low HP player, watch this nade. There it is. The kill comes in. 2v1. Doable here for the CT side. They know where the last player is as LNZ tries to hold the fort, but he's dropped by Fry, and the defused. There's time aplenty.
Oh, LNZ came so close to the shot there. I was going to say, once that nade goes in, I don't think Fierce were going to expect a second player to necessarily be round the corner. I think the first man did turn away, gave them the opportunity to turn it into the 1v1, and LNZ gets so close on that final shot, but he can't connect it.
What a round to win if you're Fierce, right? You have 3 pistols and 2 rifles, and you make that work. The nade coming in was the crucial part. You know, if that nade doesn't come through, like you said, it's over. They don't expect that second player, surely. 13-8. Fierce 3 away from the final.
Fierce were trying to fight for Banana much more heavily earlier, but I think now they've got that smoke up, they're pretty confident Wind and Rain won't be pushing any further. There is more utility to be used for Fierce, though. Deep smoke could be deployed by Astro, but they decide not to use it. They had 3 players stacked on the B site at the start of the round, so I think if they were going to take Banana, that's when it would have happened. Now, though, they've not been able to take control, so they decide to play back from the bomb site. Wind and Rain will slowly clear out those angles, spreading out into their default setup. I think Wind and Rain have been pretty solid at not giving away the openings in their default. You'd expect maybe a team like this would be hungry for frags sometimes, that they maybe make the mistake of giving away fights unnecessarily, but they're normally pushing together, which is definitely a good sign. That's going to have to continue, though, as they are 5 rounds down.
Wind and Rain start to make their way up in towards long. There's going to be a flashbang that comes through the archway. And the op goes back in towards Library. It's Brody looking for the pickup. Impulse able to find a kill. And a Molotov in as well. Impulse sits back. The smoke is up. They'll be looking for a frag, but the burning is coming through. The players are falling. Artis standing tall with 2. Jenko stepping up as well. And it's all on Swaggy, who tries his best, but only manages 1. You can't expect miracles time and time again out of him. And it's 14-8. Fierce 2 away from the grand final here at the Winter Finals at the ESL Premiership.
Yeah, good hold from Fierce across the board. Just doing enough right now on their CT side, it feels, to take this one over the line. Even if Wind and Rain are putting up some rounds, Fierce don't need to be winning all of them thanks to that first half. Yep. Ping takes the AWP on Banana. Like you said, Zywoo loves to make this play. We'll see if Ping can find success with it. He knows there's a man somewhat close by, and the flashbang could be devastating. Trades coming through.
Oh, Fry's just so aggressive, and well, at least he has backup from Artis because it didn't really work for him. Jenko just standing up here, scopes in, unscopes as well. There's a problem, there's a player close. He overcommits to the angle, and now Impulse missing shots. It looks like Wind and Rain might be able to do this one as Impulse gets a shot off. It's still a 1v2, definitely doable here for Artis. A player with a high skill ceiling, a player with a lot of potential, and we'll see what he can do in the 1 versus 2 as he starts to wrap around from long. Smoke up will sever the information flow, and he wants to play with the edge of it. Seeing if he can spot someone in the pit, but it's not going to happen. Brody on the site with a deagle in his hands, and Swaggy, who spots him coming through the smoke, and 9 for Wind and Rain.
Swaggy still looking solid, especially in Wind and Rain's round wins. It feels like he has been central. Wind and Rain not done yet. I think, as was pointed out on the desk, both teams should be fairly comfortable on this map. That is starting to shine through. I think overall, Fierce might have done enough just from that first half, though. The 12-3 lead, or 11-4 lead that they had coming through.
Just a quick execute coming in from Wind and Rain. The utility just thrown on in. Archway, Molotovs in straight in towards the site. As they start to push up, it's Impulse with the first kill. Swaggy dealt with. That's a play you don't want to lose early. As they start to wrap from long, it's a high-intensity play. Brody on the headshot. Impulse still alive. Fumbling his in, but Fry running right in towards the site. 2 kills, holding W. And it's on towards Tab, Paul, and Brody in a 2 versus 3. Ball on the floor, great stuff from Fry to give his team the advantage.
Yeah, Fry just can't stop there. Doesn't want to stop because he knows the kills are right in front of him. And it is Tadpole and Brody who have to hold this one down. Nade lands and the smoke, making life awkward for Tadpole in the pit. Brody trying to set up this crossfire, but they lose the first fight. And oh man, that was such a nice shot from Impulse, opening things up and making sure Fierce get it done.
I've seen shots like that from rifles, AKs. He just does it with the AWP. Takes the head straight off Tadpole, who was holding from the pit. It looked for sure that he was going to find it, but the fast play, the risk to run straight in towards the A bomb site immediately doesn't really pay off for Wind and Rain. It was looking like it was going to at the start, but then Fry happened. You fried him up.
Yes.
There we go. Just doesn't let go of W. Holding down as well, finding the kills, and a nice shot in the AWP to finish off the job. 15-9. Map and series point here for Fierce Esports. Looking to try and head to the grand final. And it's been an absolute bloodbath across these 3 maps. Wind and Rain showing up, showing us that they're a team that have potential, that should not be underestimated. As Astro tries to hold on and to push straight up towards top banana. Kill comes in from LNZ. Tadpole gone. Fry burns away LNZ. And it's starting to fall to pieces here for Wind and Rain.
Yeah, the team kill in the mix there certainly doesn't help them. Brings them back to the 2v4. Wind and Rain take banana control, but at what cost?
Pretty much everything at this point. Fierce, they can just do the 2-2 setup, 2 on the B bomb site, 2 on A. Wherever you decide to go, Wind and Rain, you've got an equal fight, so it's not looking so great for them at all. Arda sits back in towards Coffins. He's got Fry boosted up as well. This is not going to be easy for Wind and Rain. They'll try their best as Ping moves in. He looks to check the half wall, but it's Fry to get the kill. The smoke deploys, and Brody on his own on 7 HP. Fierce have done it. They fought back. Map number 1 did not go in favor of him, but they clawed back an Overpass and Inferno. They get it done 2-1, and they're your first finalists here at the Winter Finals at the ESL Premiership.
Yeah, making it through to the finals was always going to be a big step for Fierce, just making sure this time around they don't make those same mistakes. Wind and Rain certainly showed us some positive signs here. Swaggy in particular was so crucial for their round wins, but overall, Fierce were just a better team throughout.